Hi there. I want to talk about heartburn today. It's a problem that I've been having for over a year now. Actually, it's heartburn, acid reflux. You get the pain here. Um, this is my experience with this problem. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. If you have the same symptoms, you have the heartburn, you have the pain on the left side, like a stabbing pain. You should go to your doctor. You should do all your tests just to make sure it's not something else. In my case, over a year ago, I had a very bad stomach pain. I think it was September. Previous to that, I was feeling the heartburn. Like every morning I wake up, I have a sore throat. And I thought that maybe the issue was I'm getting sick or something. I kept taking ibuprofen, thinking I have a fever. Uh, and then in September, after a meal, I would have like this stabbing pain in my stomach. I mean, it was just like very bad, very, very bad. It got me very scared. I didn't know what was going on. So, it's very important when describing the pain to say that it's on the left side. So it's on the left side, like, right after it's on in the heart area, but on the left side where your stomach is actually. After that, I went to a doctor. I told them about it. I did upper endoscopy. That's when they put a camera up, in your up in your stomach to see if everything is okay. They found gastritis, which means inflammation on the inside of your stomach. Luckily, there was no ulcer. I did all the tests to make sure that I don't have polyps, to make sure I don't have some bacteria. I was given omeprazole. After that, I was given Prilosec, a few other medication these are, I think they're called the proton pump inhibitors. These are medication that reduce the acid in your stomach, which I think initially when somebody has a problem like this, they're helpful because when your acid is like really coming up, it burns the esophagus, it burns your throat. Maybe it's good to have this for a few weeks or a month just to calm down. Uh, One of my doctors, so I actually saw a few doctors because I was trying to figure out why this is not going away. One of them told me that I'm gonna have to take omeprazole or Prilosec for years. It is what it is. You have acid, you have high acid, so you just have to do it that way. I wasn't really happy with this answer, and to tell you the truth, you should do the same. If you're having the same symptoms, if you're having heartburn that really bothers you, that's like burning your stomach, you have like especially after eating, you feel like pain. I don't think you should be taking proton pump inhibitors for the rest of your life for a year, for 2 years. That is not going to be the solution. The solution should be natural, and this is why I'm making this video. So I'm not making any money of this. I'm just hoping that this is going to help you the same way it helped me. Actually, I saw a bunch of videos on YouTube, and pick some idea from here, pick some idea from there. I changed a lot of things, the way I was eating, the way I was living my life, and right now I can tell you I'm pain free. But if I start doing the same thing I was doing over a year ago, pain comes back. So this is going to be a permanent solution only if you change and you start living healthy, start doing the right things, start doing the things that you're supposed to do. Okay, that was a little bit long conversation, but if you're having pain and you don't know what to do or you cannot find a solution, you can hear what helped me. So the first problem, and here's the thing: very often we do things. I mean, I have a very, very busy work schedule. I work in sales, so usually I'm all over the place. I'm rushing every day. You gotta hustle. You're always, running for one appointment, another late for another appointment. So what happens in life when you just rush like that and you keep hurrying? you forget about many things. One of them was, just eating. Very often in between things, I would just eat very, very fast because I had a next meeting somewhere, or let's say I only had 5 minutes, I only had 10 minutes, so I'll just like quickly eat something. So, number one is eating too fast. A lot of us are eating too fast and we don't even know it. All right. We are in the COVID and there's a person wearing a paintball mask, which I don't know how it's gonna help for the COVID, but sorry about that. So eating too fast. First thing you should do is when you sit down, the next meal you're gonna have, time yourself. Like put a timer on the side. You have a timer on your phone, and see how long it takes you to eat the average meal. I'm talking about lunch or dinner. It should take you minimum 20 minutes. I mean, okay, 17, 18 is okay. So I heard about this from YouTube, and I remember checking it myself. I realized my average time of eating was 7 or 8 minutes. So I was just eating too fast. And this is a typical thing we all do. We all sit down in front of the TV, or when we're at work, we're in front of the computer. Sometimes I will drive and eat in the same time. And what happens is you don't chew your food properly. You just, I was chewing my food like 2, 3, 4 times, and then I swallow. Food goes in the stomach, and it's essentially big chunks of this food that cannot be processed by your stomach acid, and they go down in the intestines. So heartburn, when sometimes certain medication treat only one symptom but not the entire problem. And my problem was also constipation, so I was constipated, and eating fast is part of that problem. I mean, number one, it's definitely what type of food you're eating, but also eating too fast, you're not chewing the food. You should chew your food for at least 20 minutes. So take it easy, relax, eat the food for 20 minutes, and that will really help you with heartburn, believe it or not. It's not the acid. I'm still, my stomach is still the same like a year ago, but right now after eating, I don't have that pain. Number two, when you eat too fast, you eat too much. So number two is eating too much. I live in New York, and very often you grab a meal. A lot of the restaurants here, they go for quantity over quality. They just put a lot because this is what people like. People like a lot of food, and so what happens is, I remember taking I buy to go food. I got home, and you can do this with many restaurants. You buy the food, you go home, and you realize that you can just actually fill up 2 plates with one meal. You purchase one meal, you can fill up 2 plates. And like when I was growing as a kid, I was told always to finish everything. So I would usually sit down and make sure I eat everything. Like, I don't want to throw food. I'm like that. But you end up overeating. That's a big problem for heartburn. So eating smaller meals would really help you with heartburn. If you eat big meals, which is a lot of restaurants in America serve huge meals. I mean, if somebody gives you the regular, the problem is that since everybody is doing it, if somebody gives you a regular plate, just one plate of meal, you'll be like, oh, this is very little. I'm paying money. I should get more. But you're overeating. So again, overeating means it can cause constipation and can cause heartburn, because you have too much food in your stomach, it goes up. So make sure you eat just one plate. Don't overeat. Or you can break it down. Okay, you bought a big meal, just have it after 2 hours. Maybe have 5 meals a day, just smaller meals. Especially if you're dealing with very bad heartburn, I would say initially start to eat smaller meals. If you're as bad as me, just to let you know, so this was in September, where I actually lost, September, October, November, I lost over 30 pounds because I stopped eating. I was just like, every time I eat, I would have very bad pain. The heartburn comes out right away, starts burning. My esophagus must have been very damaged, so I was feeling the pain. I really stopped eating. I would say what you should do is you should start eating boiled vegetables. So for example, boiled or steamed carrots, potatoes, sweet potatoes, very little meat. Definitely cut down on the red meat. Red meat is very heavy on the stomach, which I'm gonna get to it later. So I know I'm throwing a lot, but I'm telling you, if you do all this, you're not gonna have to. I'm not taking any medicine for stomach right now. The only time I'm taking Tums, like that's the only thing I'm taking right now, to tell you the truth. And that's maybe once every 2 weeks, it's here just in case. That's when I go to a restaurant and I have a really nice meal. Like, let's say, for example, I go eat Indian food. It's spicy. I love Indian, but you can't have Indian every day. The spice is very bad for your heartburn. All right, so number 2 was eating too much. Do not eat too much. Number 3 is eating late. That was my problem. So every single one of these problems that I mentioned here is actually, I was guilty. I was doing them, and that's why I dealt with what I did. Eating too late is very bad, so you should try to have your last meal by 6 p.m., maybe 7, pushing it. I started eating, I wake up, my first meal is 8:30 a.m., second meal is at 12, the third meal is 5:36, maybe 6:37. It really depends on the time, and that's it. You should train yourself to not eat longer than that, later than that. I understand life gets in the way, but my biggest problem is I used to go out after work. I'll go out and end up staying very late. So at 1 a.m. I'll grab some, here in New York you have $1 pizza. So on my way back home I'll grab 2 slices of pizza and go straight to sleep. Eating too late is very bad for your heartburn. Why? Because when you lay down, all that acid goes up your esophagus to your throat. You wake up, you have a sore throat, you have all that problem. You cannot do that. You have to limit. I mean, once you train yourself. So in my case, I had no choice. I had to do all these changes. Some of them my doctor told me, others I saw on YouTube. Third is people that gave me advice. It's if you come to the point where you eat a meal and you feel pain, you feel the heartburn right away, you don't feel good. I was belching all the time, like you feel like you wanna, like I could not burp like a fully burp, but I was just like belching. I would feel heaviness in my stomach, nauseous. It's just a terrible feeling. So in my case, I pushed it so much. In my 20s, I was able to do whatever I want. I can eat any type of food, I can overeat, and I never had problems. But in my 30s, things have changed already, and you just gotta adjust to it. All right, number 4 is eating greasy or unhealthy foods. Unfortunately, you can no longer eat this. If you are having heartburn, if you're having stomach acid problems, you gotta get rid of this. I can, like right now, if I go and I eat some greasy garbage food from some of these cheap restaurants, usually like for $7, $8, $9, you can buy a full meal of some, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna call it garbage because that's what it is. Like, you should not be eating it anyway. I eat one of these meals and immediately I'm feeling miserable. I mean, like if I go to Wendy's, for example, Wendy's is really, that burger is just so heavy. So you cannot eat this anymore. And like I said, every now and then I go to a restaurant, I'll have a meal and I can feel, I'm like, this is very greasy. Right after it, I have Tums. And I feel like there's nothing bad about that. Tums is okay, but I think it should be taken once every 2 weeks, only when you feel it. It shouldn't be taken every day. I know people that eat this every single day after every meal. That shouldn't be like that. I'm not getting paid by Tums. I'm just telling you what helps me. So don't overuse medication. Just use it every now and then. Nice remedy if you have also feel heaviness in your stomach, you have a very heavy meal, would be also baking soda. Half a spoon of baking soda, you just mix it in the water, you drink it. It can help you. These are all temporary solutions that you should not rely on every single day, like I know a lot of people do that. Okay, so number 4 was eating greasy or unhealthy food. Don't do that. Laying down after eating, that's number 5, and that goes the same with eating too late. If you're gonna eat at 12 o'clock, guess what? You're gonna lay down after eating. Even if you lay down after 1 hour, it still counts. You should, it should be minimum 20 2.5 or 3 hours before you lay down after your meal. So eating too late will mean that you will go to sleep after half an hour. After an hour you wake up and your throat is a disaster, your stomach just goes up. So if you have heartburn, you should avoid this. So number 6 is constipation. Like I said, uh, constipation and heartburn, and this is my opinion, this is my experience, they go together. I was really constipated, and how do you get constipated? It is the food you eat. This is very important. What you should do is sit down on the computer or talk to your doctor. I mean, if you're having this problem, obviously you're going to go to the doctor, go to a nutritionist and talk about your food. Like my doctor, for example, did not ask me what I eat. What happens is a lot of doctors are very busy. They do not have the time to go over all details. Like for example, right now I'm just looking at the time up here on the camera, and it says it's been 16 minutes. Very often you go to the doctor, they don't have 16 minutes to go over all these details with you. These are all the changes you're gonna have to take to just live a better life. And I mean, today I'm telling you, being pain-free is 100% worth it. I have no regrets. So constipation, for example, I used to work out, and when you work out, all they tell you is you gotta eat a lot. You know, you gotta eat red meat, you gotta eat potatoes, the protein shake. I was chugging that stuff, just to bulk up. I wanted to get bigger. I was 215 pounds over a year ago. Now I'm 180 pounds. I'm very tall. I'm 6'4", and believe it or not, my body mass index, the BMI, says that actually now I'm having the healthy weight. So I was overweight somehow. I mean, I had a little bit of stomach, but it's just all that overeating. So my biggest problem with constipation is, when you go to the gym, when you work out, usually they tell you, like if there's nothing healthy to eat, you should have a banana. I loved eating yellow bananas, or sometimes they're still green. I will eat them. That's how I liked eating them. Guess what? If you're gonna eat a banana, you have to wait until it it has the black dots, it turns a little bit darker. If you eat a yellow banana or a green banana, or in between, that's gonna cause constipation. I was eating bananas every day, and I was just wondering why I'm constipated. Red meat, definitely not good. Coffee, I actually quit coffee. I quit alcohol too. But to tell you, I mean, this is how severe it was. I changed so many things. But what happens is, when you change, you just go to the supermarket, you buy these new things, you put in your refrigerator, and this is what you eat now. That's it. I mean, you just started like that. You're gonna have to do it. Milk and dairy products. I don't eat dairy. I don't drink milk because I have acne problems. So after I started eating milk, after I started drinking milk, I don't have the acne anymore, so I don't have a problem with that. But I do eat a lot. I used to eat a lot of cheese, so I cut on it. So to what I was telling you earlier, at 1 a.m. I will head towards home. I'll have 2 slices of pizza. Tomato is very bad for heartburn, so you gotta find a way to avoid it. So what does pizza have? It has tomato sauce, and it has tons of cheese, and it has a piece of bread that's full of gluten. Gluten is also causing constipation, so you should avoid gluten. I eat gluten-free bread. I have this habit of eating a bread in the morning. I like eating bread, so we have Whole Foods here. I get gluten-free bread, and it seems to be okay. So it's not like you have to give up on bread. You just get gluten-free. I mean, what else do I have? Fried or fast food, very bad for constipation. Also, they cause constipation. McDonald's, you eat McDonald's every day, you just can't go to the bathroom. White rice, if you're gonna eat rice, get brown rice. So this is why I'm saying, like, I'm just throwing a lot of information in this video. But I mean, this is all the information I took over a year. It just took me a long time to figure things out. I was suffering for over 6 months or longer until I stabilized. So if you change all this, it's gonna take weeks until you feel better. So don't rush it, but it's much better living this way versus taking proton pump inhibitors like Prilosec and all that garbage. Like I said, I'm not saying that medication is bad. There's people that need to take it, that really need it. But if you have all these bad habits, then you don't need this medication. Like, I had bad habits that I had to change, and after I changed them, I saw improvement. So now I don't need it anymore. Okay, fiber is very, very important, and that's number 7 here. You can start off, so if you're constipated, I mean, why constipation is really important for you? Because when you're constipated, the food cannot go down where it should. After you eat a meal, so let's say you eat fast, you're like, oh, chugging fast. Like I said, time yourself. You'll be surprised. You might finish a meal in 6 minutes. You eat very fast and you eat all this food that causes constipation. All that does not get digested properly and just ends up in the intestines, and it just like rots over there. I mean, I know it sounds very disgusting, but that's what happens. This food sits in your intestines and it doesn't go through the way it's supposed to be. It just there rots. And what happens is, the hardest thing that happens is that when this food starts rotting, there's going to be bacteria is going to overpopulate. When you eat starch healthy foods filled with starch, there's a type of bacteria that's going to overpopulate, and this bacteria is creating gases because it's eating and this is the belching. This is the belching symptoms you will experience when you're constipated and when you have heartburn. It's like you want to burp but you just can't, or like you constantly, I mean, I was belching like every few seconds. It was on non-stop. No, I'm just like I wasn't able to burp. I was just belching like non-stop. I felt, and that's the constipation. Your stomach is just like packed with like all this food that you ate 4 days ago. It's just rotting there. This is why you have to eat slow. This is why you have to eat healthy food, so the food can just continue on its way and you get the nutrition, not garbage. I mean, I have like once or twice a week I do eat fast food. I mean, I go to a restaurant, I call it fast food, even though I'm paying $50 for a meal. That's probably not a healthy food. Food is expensive in New York if you go in restaurants, by the way. God damn it. Anyway, fiber rich food. What are fiber rich foods? Examples that help me. So I'm telling you what helped me, and what I kind of got in habit of eating would be pears, popcorn, lentil soup, chicken soup. Like, start eating more soups, because if you're eating a lot of foods, like let's say you eat fries, chicken, fries, red meat, that's like very dry. You need some liquids, like drink more water, also very important. So beans, pita dates, figs, these are all very, very rich in fiber. So for example, instead of having desserts right now, instead of having cake, I would have figs. They have the dried figs, they have the dried pita dates. They are very helpful. And I notice, like, every day I do number 2 when I wake up in the morning. I feel like that really helped me with the constipation. And when your constipation is gonna go away, that's when also the heartburn is gonna go away. Everything is connected. You can't just treat one symptom. Omeprazole is just gonna treat the heartburn symptom, but it's not gonna take care of the rest. You need to change. Being that you have acid reflux, you need to avoid highly acidic foods. Number 1 is tomato. I used to eat tomato every single day. I love tomatoes. Unfortunately, I remember everything started, my worst that I felt was last September. It was 10 p.m. I was on a vacation. I ate like this big pasta with meatballs, tomato sauce, and that night I could not sleep. I was just so miserable. And that's what I ate very late. I must have eaten it very fast, and it was a lot of tomato, so it just completely destroyed me. Coffee, try to quit coffee if you can. I quit, I feel great. I'm telling you, it's been a year since I quit drinking coffee. I don't have any problem. I wake up. In the first week, you might have some headaches when you wake up. You feel weird. The first week is hard, but after that, you're just done with it. I used to drink Starbucks. You know, it's the very. I had Starbucks machine at home. I sold it. I got rid of it. I don't need it. It's an addiction. You know, they want you to be addicted. I was drinking 2 or 3 coffees a day. Every single cup of coffee, I would put half a spoon of sugar. So that means I had, you know, almost 2 spoons of sugar a day. It's an addiction. When you quit, you're gonna feel better. You can live without it. I've been living over a year. When I wake up, I feel great. Just wash my face with cold water and I'm ready to go. With coffee, I will wake up feeling like crap. You know, you're like, oh, you have like this weird feeling and you cannot function until you have your coffee. And then you crash, right? So then around 12 o'clock, you need to have another one. And it's like 2:30 or 3 p.m. I'm going to crash again. Try to quit coffee. I know it's very hard to say, but those are the things. If you are to the point where you have pain after eating a meal, where the heartburn is burning your throat, then it's time to quit all this garbage. I'm sorry to say that. There's no other way. Don't go the easy route. It's not even easy. If you go the route with medication, it's not gonna work. I took omeprazole for 2.5 months. I did not feel any better. It wasn't like taking the medication I feel better. I still felt weird. It just like my stomach wasn't my stomach. Like I could feel something wasn't right. I took Prilosec, it wasn't working for me. And stress, number 9 is stress. That's the last one you really need to careful. So let's say you have a busy day, you're running around, you sit down and you're like eating fast. That is stress. Believe it or not, that has a big cause, and that's something I'm still working on. Every now and then I forgot and I sit down and I start eating fast, so I gotta pace myself. But try to maybe, I don't know, before you eat, just take a minute to relax, breathe deep. If you're really having a stressful day, or biggest problem, you know, just take it easy, or like don't watch something, don't be on the phone, don't be picking, like that could be stress. You know, sending text while you're eating. All right, it takes you 20 minutes to eat a meal. If you take 20 minutes to eat a meal, you're doing things right. So that you need to eat 3 times a day. That means just take, you know, breakfast can be 10 minutes. Breakfast doesn't have to be 20 minutes because it's less, you know, it's a smaller. Like for breakfast, I'll tell you examples. One day I'll have gluten-free wheat bread. So avoid the white bread. Gluten-free wheat bread, I will toast it, and inside I'll put avocado, and I'll eat it like that with some almonds on the side. And after that, for dessert, I'll have like dried figs, pita dates. There you go. Everything is healthy, and I feel light. The good thing about all this food that I just mentioned, now this was all healthy food, right? You feel full. You're good until 12. If you eat garbage in the morning, junk food, after 1.5 hours, you'll be hungry. Junk food is designed to have you feel hungry after 2 hours, after 1.5 hours. So that's why you gotta avoid it. You're just fooling yourself. You know, I don't blame you. Junk food tastes delicious. I keep calling it garbage, keep calling it junk, but it tastes amazing. But unfortunately, it messed me up. I used to eat a lot of junk food, even though I thought I was eating healthy. I was lying to myself, and I got myself in a very, very bad problem. Like I said, I lost 35 pounds. So for those of you who keep coming up with excuses why you can't lose weight, eating healthy, not only you're gonna lose the weight, but you cannot gain weight. Oh, and the other thing about eating fast, when you eat fast, you overeat. When you eat fast, so, you know, like you heard about this, that it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain that you're full. Well, if you're eating in 8 minutes, if you eat the food, you start overeating, you might have like a double the amount of food in like 10 minutes. by the time your stomach is gonna tell your brain you're full, you overate. So when you start eating slowly, when you start chewing the food, I mean, this is something at the beginning you're gonna have to like train yourself to do, but it just has so many benefits. uh, I watch on YouTube, I watch on Facebook, Instagram. You have all this garbage. You have all these people who don't care about you, who have no interest in helping you, but they're selling you some miracle food, some miracle garbage. It's always like this doctor discovered this miracle food. After you watch their 20 minutes video, they're gonna tell you what it is, and at the end they're just selling you some product that's over processed, that has lost its nutrition. They have no interest in telling you everything I just told you. I'm just telling you what helped me, and what I did was what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to eat slow, eat healthy, pace yourself, relax, don't overeat. Yeah. Okay, so that was breakfast, one day. Another day I would have, let's say, oatmeal. You take an oatmeal, you take a banana. Again, the bananas should be ripe. Sometimes I'll have half of it, sometimes the whole. And because I don't drink milk, I put hot water in it. You get used to everything. It's amazing, because I had so much pain with my stomach. I just like, at that point I was like, I want to. When that point come, when the stomach feels so bad, then there's like, it becomes sensitive to everything. So at that time, even eating oatmeal, I would have pain. But now I got used to. I guess instead of drinking milk in the oatmeal, you could use almond milk. Now there's oat milk. I see they're selling it. So those are some ideas. Milk is for babies. You're not a baby. If you're 40 years old, 50 years old, why are you drinking milk? And I'll tell you one thing, I travel a lot, and when you go to a third world country, and when you drink original milk, it tastes completely different. Whatever they're selling in the store right now does not taste like milk. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't taste like milk. Don't drink it. Just get rid of it. Cheese, have it once a week. Don't have it every single day. I used to have it every single day. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a smartass here. I was wrong on every single, I just messed up on every one of these rules, and that's why I paid a high price. I spent few $1,000s in expenses going to doctors for all the tests. I was in pain. I lost a lot of weight, but that's when you realize health is very important. So okay, that's about it. I throw a lot of info here, but I'm gonna go over them again. I wrote them down here. Number 1, eating too fast. Take 20 minutes to eat a meal. Number 2, do not eat too much. When you have a plate, have yourself the plate. Don't eat it from a container. Sometimes I'll buy them in my car and I eat it from the container. It's always way more than it is. Number 3, eating late. Do not eat after 6 or 7 p.m. Number 4, don't eat greasy or unhealthy food. Have it once a week. Have a cheat day. I mean, I have a cheat day or 2. That's all right. But don't have it every day. You just not good for you. Don't lay down after eating, which means don't eat too late. Constipation. Take care of your constipation. If you're eating all this junk food, that's greasy food, that's gonna cause you be constipated. Eat healthy. Number 7, fiber. You need to eat fiber-rich foods. If you go to a nutritionist, so if you are going to a doctor, sometimes doctors, they might not give you all this data. Go to a nutritionist, talk about your whole diet, talk about him. You'll be surprised. There's things we do every single day and we don't realize, but talk about with your doctor and figure out which foods you like, because there's probably 15 to 20 foods that are rich in fiber. If you're or what you can do is you can take just fiber, fake powder, fiber powder that they sell. Take 1 glass every day, and that's going to regulate your stomach. And avoid highly acidic foods, like I said, and stress. And you do have 20 minutes for a lunch. You do have 20 minutes for dinner. Take it easy. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the meal. I hope this helped. I guess there's comments below. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them. I hope you don't have the same problem I had. It was horrible. I lost a lot of weight, like I said. It was a lot of pain. But if you follow this, you're not gonna need any medication, and you're gonna feel great. I feel great. I feel healthy, and I'm glad I did all these changes to live a better life. All right. Have a great day. Stay healthy. Bye bye.